Hello there, and welcome to What the Dog podcast, where we talk about what your dog is doing, why they're doing it, and can we fix it. My name is Katie. I am the owner at For Pete's Sake Dog Training, here to give you, the pet parent, short, sweet, quick answers to your questions. So let's jump to it. Welcome back to another episode. I'm glad you are here with me today. Today's topic is going to be dog play. Now, if you are listening to this podcast, great. Thank you so much for joining. There is a video that will go along with today's podcast because I'm going to use my dog to show you examples of what I mean with different body language and different actions that my dog takes during play, letting me know if he is interested in continuing the play or if he's not, what type of play he likes and what he doesn't, right? My dog is 9 years old. I have learned over the years different things about him. His play styles have changed as he's aged as well. And there are some health concerns too with some of the play that we do. So I want to make sure that I am helping you, the pet parent, look at your dog, make sure we're reading body language, and understand what they truly like, or is it just what we like, right? Now, before we get into all of that, I like to go over the baseline. Why is play important? And most of you right now are thinking, yeah, it burns energy. Dogs like it. They have fun, right? All very true. There's other great benefits to dog play, whether that's playing with you or playing with other dogs. I'm primarily talking about playing with humans today. Dog to dog play is great, and I that's going to be another podcast episode that we can talk about, and we'll have a lot of visuals on dog body language, right? Today it's mainly between human and dog play. Not all of us have other dogs at home for our dog to play with, and they are playing with us, maybe our children or other family members. But back to why dog play is so important. Yes, it does burn energy. Yes, your dog can love it. It is a way that dogs can socialize with their family, building that bond even stronger, especially if they like it and they have fun with it. It can help build their confidence. It can give them problem solving skills. There are a lot of things where there's great benefits to play and including play into your dog's daily schedule. But how do we know if it's appropriate play? How do I know if my dog actually likes the game? It's so common that historically our brains have been told that you must play fetch and you must play tug and you must take your dog on a walk. Like, these are all things that when people envision playing with a dog, this is what they envision playing with. And today I'm going to show you primarily tug and fetch. And these are games that I play with my dog that may look a little different than what we think these look like playing with our dogs, right? Fetch for sure is one that I had to change my mindset on what fetch is and what fetch looks like and if fetch should even be played with my dog. And I'm going to tell you why. So, the first thing that I always talk to pet parents about is understanding your dog's play style. What do they like? What kind of toys do they like? Do they shred toys? Not as interactive with their humans, but that's something that we may look into. Do they like squeakers? Pete really likes the toys that have the crinkly paper in them, or if they're ball shaped. And again, I'll get into this because he is obsessed with a ball. So I know what type of toys he likes. He's not a big fan for like the simple, fluffy, stuffed toys with maybe a squeaker in them. The crinkly paper and ball shaped by far are his favorite. So that's what I get, right? I have realized that he does like to play tug. I'll explain why in a minute. So I make sure I have tug toys available for him. In his toy bin, I also make sure that I have other toys that are individual toys that he can lay down and play with on his own to help him relax from maybe getting overstimulated during play. So, making sure our dog has a stress relief option. And for Pete, those are Benabone chews. So, having some chew toys in his play toy bin, and just some balls. He uses Chuckets, having those in there too because he does use those as a little bit of a anxiety relief, holding those in his mouth. So I want to make sure that your dog has the toys that they like to start, that they like, not that you like, that they like. And the reason why I know what Pete likes is because I watch which ones he grabs more frequently. Which ones does he bring to me to interact with him, right? I'm very much pro having my dog approach me versus me forcing my dog to play, because again, it's that mindset of, oh, I have a dog, he has to play fetch. I'm going to get into that. That's not a rule. We don't have to do that, right? So having my dog initiate the play is one of the very first things that I start changing in this mindset, because it allows me to get to know what they truly like instead of me again forcing that play, right? Now, I just want to do a little blip note about if you are using play solely to burn energy, or that's kind of your main, like, this is why we play because you have a lot of energy. I get home from work, you're hyper, I need to play with you, and we do these very high physically demanding play styles. That is not your only answer to burning your dog's energy. Cognitive and mental stimulation, enrichment activities are also very beneficial. And I do have a podcast about enrichment. So I do encourage you to go back and listen to that episode, because we talk about different ways you can burn energy that are still very beneficial to your dog. And the reason why I bring that up is because, again, a lot of people think that I have to burn energy. I have to do something that's physically demanding of my dog to burn energy. And that's not the case. And especially as our dogs get older, my dog is, like I said, 9 years old. I cannot do as much physically demanding activities with him because of his arthritis. And he does get very uncomfortable and obviously in pain when we do high demanding physical activities. We can't do those anymore. So having my dog come to me when he wants to play is going to be very important. Like I said, look into enrichment podcasts for other topics. The other part of that too, by having my dog come to me, is we're using toys and not our hands, especially when we have little puppies or younger dogs who get really mouthy. Mouthiness during play is very normal, because when you watch dogs play with each other, what do they play with? Their paws and their mouth. It's normal for dogs to get mouthy. We want to make sure that we are playing with toys that are big enough that our dog doesn't accidentally grab our hand, and that maybe even if we're playing tug, it's a longer toy to build space between where we're holding and where our dog is holding. Now, some of you may say, yeah, but my dog climbs up that ramp, right? There are training tools of training a wait or a stop, a let go, things that can help you kind of put a temporary hold in the play so your dog disengages and it keeps you safe. So if you feel like your dog gets overstimulated during play, we're playing things a little wrong, to be honest. And if we want to, if you think, man, he is mouthing me and I can't really keep myself safe, looking at how we're playing with our dog and then teaching some impulse control is going to be your best friend, right? So while we use these toys, we want to be able to teach our dog to let go as they get closer to our hand, so we can reset and we can continue playing. What could be going on is why your dog's getting closer and closer to your hand is because they want the toy and they don't want you to have it anymore. And so they're trying to get you to let go, because probably in the past, if they've mouthed your hand and you let go and they get it, so they've learned that that is what works to get the toy. Excuse me. Which could be a resource issue, but it also could be that they just don't like the play and they want the toy and they want to go play on it. So I'm going to show you ways that I invite my dog to continue playing, and where play is basically on his terms, right? The other part, like I said earlier, is knowing when to stop. When to stop when play is getting too over aroused. You're going to start to see body language. And the more that you actually watch your dog during play, you'll see the stages of we are just starting out, we're getting really excited and it's nice and healthy. And then, hey, things are starting to get a lot more quick with body movements. We might be short tempered and we're mouthing a lot more frequently. So you're going to start picking it up. And ideally, we'd like to stop play before we get over threshold, right? I can't sit here right now and tell you exactly what your dog does because I don't know your dog and I haven't seen your dog play. But those are things we want to start paying attention to. Maybe our dog starts to chase their tail. Maybe they get really shaky with their toy in their mouth. And after they do that, then they get really mouthy with us, right? We need to start watching our dogs and getting to know their body language and getting to know their tells so we can help them manage their emotions and we can help them disengage with play and go do an activity that will help them calm down and help take that edge off. Like I said, for Pete, those are bones. He loves to chew, sniffing, licking, chewing. Those are 3 topics I usually have clients pair after a play session. Because a lot of times too, not only does a dog may get overstimulated, but what I hear a lot, especially with my puppy parents, because they say my puppy has energy, I play with them. When I'm done playing, my dog gets really mouthy and doesn't stop playing when I'm done playing. Well, just because you're done doesn't mean your dog's done. Also, maybe mental stimulation will actually be better for your dog than the physical play, especially with puppies. Following up a play session when you're done with an activity your dog can do by themselves will help you so much. And it will help your dog take a breath, calm down, relax after that high adrenaline rush of during play. Side note, which is why I also do not physically play with my dog right before putting them in a kennel or right before I leave. I want downtime in between those activities. So keeping your dog under threshold, not going over threshold and getting too overstimulated. Great way to have nice, healthy play. Keeping in mind we can do some mental activities and it doesn't have to be just physical activities. And following up play with an activity that will help them relax, chewing, sniffing, licking. Those are the 3 main pieces I want you to take home with you today of how you can play with your dog. Additionally, I missed it, maybe a 4th one, watching their body language and seeing what they like and don't like, which I'm going to get into now, right? We'll have some visuals for you that I've learned about my dog and how we play safely together and keep it nice and fun. So I'm going to get set up and show you how we play. All right, welcome to Play Sesh. We were learning place in my Patreon. So if you are interested in learning place, head over to my Patreon. That's why my blanket was on the floor. I'm going to start with tug. So something that I think about when I play tug with my dog, I want to keep my dog physically safe is the biggest thing during tug. It's a very natural dog game that dogs like to play. I want to keep my dog safe and I want to make sure I'm not hurting him. And again, I know I have an older dog, but this goes for all ages, especially puppies, especially seniors, but all age dogs, we need to consider this. What I do not do during tug is I don't move my arm and I'm not the one doing the shaking side to side. Or I'm not doing like, I may pull a little bit, but I'm not like heavily pulling. I have pitties, guys. Yes, I have a 9-year-old pitty right now, but I have had strong dogs in my past and I am not going to be yanking them around and throwing their body around. Reason why is because think about you getting thrown around with somebody, whiplash. There are injuries that we can get from someone else maneuvering our body, right? So that's something I want you to keep in mind. Again, every dog is different. I'm not going to tug with the same force as if I was playing with a Yorkie as I am with a pit bull. Like that's obvious. You will pull harder with a pit bull than you will with a Yorkie, but like I said, I'm not yanking my dog's body around. He is going to yank his own body around. Now I have 2 toys. These are 2 of Pete's favorite tug toys. Okay. Like I said, he is obsessed with a ball. So I found this Chuck-It, this foam Chuck-It that has a rope on the end. Loves playing tug with this. This one is one of my favorites. It's from Busy Noses. She's a shop on Etsy, handmade. It has a bungee to it. And this part did have a squeaker in it. Pete's already broken that. That's fine. But both of these are really fun. I do actually like to take one of these on me with walks with some of my high prey drive dogs. And we do incorporate tug into walks. So I like this one because I can easily kind of clip it. It's not as awkward as this one for that, but just want to show. Now, if you are working on impulse control and wanting your dog to drop during tug, having a second toy available to show them and help them drop. So if my dog was playing tug with the ball and I want him to drop, I could show him the second one, get him to drop, usually by just saying it. He's now interested in this toy and I can start tugging with this one. So that's something that you could do, is having a second toy to help that disengagement, right? Which one do you want to play with? Let's go. Which one? Okay, we want the ball. So what I just did there is I wanted to see which toy Pete would prefer. Wait, wait. So I'm holding them both out, right? Wait, and he keeps going for the ball. I'm going to switch hands. Wait, and then free. Yes, good boy. He keeps going for the ball. So we're going to play tug with the ball today. He does have a drop. I can use it if I need to. Now, while we play tug, again, I'm going to let him kind of do the pull. I may pull back a little, but he's going to do most of the pulling. I'm going to let go. Pete. He's like, he's now interested in his other tug toy. That's fine. Good job. I know. Good. So watch again. He's going to start tugging. I'm going to tug a little. Yeah, good boy. See how he shook? I did not. I let go. He walks away. One thing I'm going to do, he's checking out other toys, and he was just taking a nap. I'll be honest with you guys. You want tug? I will ask, and I'll stick my hand out like this. Yes! He comes to me with the toy, and now we tug. Oh, so strong! So strong! Tug. Oh, yeah. Tug back. I pull back a little. He tugs. Yeah. Yeah. Tug it. Tug it. Oh, he won. He shook it a little bit. He's walking off. I can ask again. You want tug? He's chewing on it for a little bit. He is off camera, so I apologize. I'm going to let him chew then. I asked. He's not coming back to engage. I also keep my tug sessions fairly short. I just did 3 short sessions in there. If I go too long, my dog may be getting a little frustrated that I haven't, quote, let him win, and then he'll leave, right? So I do let my dog come to me and tell me when he wants to play. What I'm not doing is I'm not walking over there and grabbing the toy and trying to engage in tug, right? I ask, but this is something I've had to train my dog to do. Most of our dogs, if they want to play tug, they will put the toy like in your face or in your hand. So this is something that's very easy to start doing with your dog. Pete, you want tug? Where's your tug ball? Yeah, get that tug ball. Yeah, you want tug? So again, I'm asking him. He knows tug now. Oh yeah. I pull a little, he pulls. I pull a little, he pulls. Oh, so strict. Yes. I back up. He comes and chases me. Yes. Good boy. He tugs. Whoa, he won. So I'm letting him decide if he wants to keep playing. And I'm playing. I'm pulling a little. He's giving in. I'm pulling it a little. This is kind of long. Will you come back? Nope. He says, I need a break. Maybe I can come back. Yes. Oh, good. I'm going to keep this one short. And he might be done. So again, my body language is inviting him to come back to play. He is chewing on it. And he's like, oh, I want to see it for a second. He needed a break. That's fine. And we will do this back and forth. And he will be able to decide when he wants to play. And it keeps the play healthy. It keeps him saying, I'm starting to get over threshold. I need a break. So he takes the break instead of me forcing him. Sorry, I'm going to turn it. You can't see him very well, but he is trying to get a bone under the chair because we just finished play. Here, you want me to help you? We just finished play. and he needs to decompress. Because I've added that into his routine, it's very normal for him to just go and do that, right? So this is a great way for my dog to tell me when he is starting to get overstimulated with play and when he needs a break. He is communicating that. I'm not forcing him to continue playing tug. Even if I was like, man, you have energy, we need to get it out. And if I keep forcing him to play tug, that's when we're going to run into extra mouthing, our dog doing behaviors that we don't really like. It gets too aggressive, right? Aggressive. Well, I did air quotes there for anyone who's just listening. So I'm letting my dog decide, right? Hope that helps clear a little bit up, especially with tug. I get really scared when I start seeing people, they're really whipping their dog's neck around, because you can get injuries with your dog from whipping their body around, their body getting moved in ways that they're not controlling. That's when you can get injuries, right? Next, I want to talk about fetch. Okay, so with fetch, again, this is a game, just like with tug, where we say, I have a dog, he plays fetch, or I need to play fetch with my dog because that's what dogs do. Not every dog really likes to play fetch. And that's something I actually found out with Pete. He does not actually enjoy to play fetch. How do I know this? It was a little difficult for me to find out because Pete is very ball obsessed. Okay. You saw how he was playing with tug. He runs around. It looks pretty normal, right? He almost panics when a ball is moving. Okay. So I have two here. We're going to play with him. I'm going to show you exactly. He has stopped chewing and he's like, oh, a ball. You want your ball? Come here. You want your ball? So I'm going to try and have him face the camera. He is very lip licking, staring, very adamant about, oh my gosh, I want that ball, right? This is not, oh my gosh, I'm really excited. I want the ball, because watch. Hi, he leaves. He takes the ball to his bed. He wants the ball for himself. He's not, I want the ball to play fetch. He just wants the ball. He walks around chewing them. I have a second one. Obsessed, right? I drop it. If the ball moves, he is immediately chasing it. We're going to watch him with, where'd your other, oh, here. I was like, where'd the other one go? We're going to watch him with two balls. Okay. I want to show you something real quick. He has a ball. I have one. He drops it. He wants the ball that I have. He doesn't care about this one because I have it, right? Release. He has a ball. I'm going to move this one. Now he wants the ball that's moving. While this really is cute and it quote cute, I think he looks like a kitty playing. He's obsessed. His brain cannot disengage from another ball moving, even if he has one in his mouth. He does prefer the Chuckits versus this glow in the dark one, but he is very ball obsessed. Now, when I first got him, I thought I have to play fetch with him to burn energy, because he would play fetch. He will chase a ball. And if I had two balls, he'd come back and he would drop the one in his mouth to get the one that I had. So we could sit here and play fetch. Now, one thing I'm not doing, I'm not throwing it in. This is a big room. I'm not throwing it in here because it's carpet. He slides around. You've already seen what he's been doing. He will injure himself because he does not look where he's going to go chase the ball. He has chipped a tooth because he's ran into the wall, right? Oops, like that. I don't want him doing that. He's 9 years old. But as long as I have a second ball, He will stay engaged with me, and we could do this for hours. This is not healthy. He knows the word drop. If I have another ball, drop. Again, he'll drop it to get the ball I have, right? I'm going to take one away, and I'm going to show you if we just have one ball to deal with. Ready? Drop. Good boy. He thinks I have another ball still. Drop. Oh, good boy. Drop. He knows I don't have another ball. He's looking for it. He doesn't want to play like he was before, right? Can you drop? Chewing, lots of pacing. He's kind of looking for his other ball. I'll give you this one just so you can choose. He's on his bed now. Pete, come on, come here. Can you drop? He puts it in my hand. That's a tug thing, right? We don't play tug with that ball. Pete, I'll throw it. Come on. I know. He's right now, he's so obsessed with the fact that he has two balls, which is why I don't normally give him two. He's laying on his bed. Can you drop? Now, if I were to go up and take the ball and throw it, would he run and chase it? Yes. Does he want to? Is the real question. No. He knows drop. He knows that if he drops the ball in front of me, I'll throw it. So if he wants to play chase, that's something that over time, I have changed my mindset that I want him to choose if he wants me to throw it. I taught him drop. He knows how to drop. I'll ask him, and I would ask and ask and ask, and he'd never do it. And eventually he would, and then I'd throw it. So I taught him that if he drops it by me, the reward is it to get thrown, right? So what now happens, and he kind of is doing it now, but if I sit outside on my deck and I throw the ball, he comes back, I say drop, he paces, he chews on it, sometimes he shakes his head, and sometimes he'll go lay down and he's just chewing on his ball. And my brain thought, man, I need to throw the ball again so you'll go chase it. I don't need to. I don't need to do that. Him sitting outside with his ball was stimulation for him. Okay, that was enough. If I kept forcing him to drop the ball and I kept throwing it, I would be pushing him past his limit. That's when we get injuries and that's when we get naughty behavior. Okay. What I would do is I would do whatever I wanted to do, go in my garden, read a book, hang out in the sun, listen to a podcast. And after about 10 minutes, he would actually approach me on his own and drop the ball by my feet and back up, because I did teach him to back up. And I said, oh, okay, he wants me to throw it now. And I'd throw it. And then 10 more minutes would go by and he'd come and drop the ball. And so I'd throw it. I didn't ask him to come over and drop the ball anymore. I let him do it because he learned that if he dropped it, I would throw it. So he would come and drop it when he would want me to throw it. I wasn't forcing fetch anymore. So, long story short, we may be forcing our dogs to interact in physical play instead of them choosing to. And also, a benefit of them choosing to play is that they tell us when they're overstimulated and when they've had too much. Because during this podcast, you may be thinking, well, how do I know? My dog needs to burn energy. So this is a game we play fetch down the hall. I was that person. I'd come home from work and I'm like, man, my 2-year-old dog is really bored and has energy. So I'm going to throw the ball for half an hour, and I'd have two balls and we'd rotate. And would he be tired? Yes, he would be tired. But the point is that that was not healthy play. I've come to realize that now. That was not a healthy way for him to get his energy out. It's hard for us to say, well, it worked. Did it though? Did it really work? Is it the best option? I can teach him to drop the ball. And when he drops it on his own. And that tells me he wants me to play. He has not come back to me and dropped the ball. He does not want me to throw the ball. He is laying on his bed. He wants to rest. And when I'm outside, he loves laying in the sun. Again, I know I have a 9-year-old dog, but these are things that you still want to do with no matter the age of your dog. You want them to check in with you and to say, I'm ready to play. You've taught them that this is how you play. This is how we do the thing you want to do, right? So that's the key here, is that we're watching our dog's body language. We're not forcing this play. If you're still thinking, I need to get my dog's energy out, and this is the only thing that has worked in the past, again, go to my enrichment podcast episode. I talk about a lot of other ways we can burn energy in our dogs that is not physical. Physical activities are that's what we have been taught, that you have to go walk your dog miles and you have to play fetch and you have to play tug and you have to play all these physically demanding activities to burn your dog's energy. And in reality, they don't like to do those as for a long period of time as we think. Most dogs. Again, you may be saying, yeah, my dog could sit here and play. Please watch the body language. See if your dog is choosing to play for that long. And then you can come tell me I was wrong. Please include video though, because body language is huge. Body language is hard for a lot of people to actually read appropriately because there's a lot of little cues in there that are telling our dog things. Like I said, my dog grabbed the ball, he was chewing it in his mouth, and he was kind of going around. He was searching for another ball. His tail was wagging, and you're like, what is tail's wagging? He looks happy. He was stressed. I can tell you, he was an anxious dog in that moment, did not want to play fetch. It may have looked like he was a happy-go-lucky dog in the middle of playing fetch, but he was not. His ears were a little bit pinched. He's frantically looking around. Even though his tail's wagging, it was more upright and stiff wagging. I can tell in his different wagging styles how he's feeling, right? So I can tell by where his eyes are darting around how he's feeling. When he approaches me and looks at me with soft eyes versus really big pupils because I'm holding a ball, different emotions. He may not be jumping. So you say, oh, he's sitting calmly, like when I held the ball and he was sitting here. Oh, he's sitting calmly. He was not calm. In his brain, there was a lot of dancing going on, and I could see it because his pupils were really big and the extra lip licking he was doing, right? Tight mouth, extra lip licking. He's on edge. I do also have a body language one in there too, if you want to look at body language. But this podcast episode was a little bit longer than in the past, and that's okay. I wanted to make sure I give you visuals. But like I said, I want to make sure that your goal is to watch your dog while you play. See if you can just wait, be a little bit more patient, and see if they come to you to engage in the play, right? Maybe think of what body language cues you can build in your relationship that you're asking, like I do with Tug. I'm asking if he wants to play tug, and then he says yes by coming and putting the ball or the rope in my hand. Then we play tug. I wait for him to drop the ball at my feet, and when he drops the ball, then I throw it. That's how we've learned if he wants me to throw the ball. Like I said, I can't do that anymore because his arthritis gets inflamed, and when he does too much ball, those quick sudden movements also is a great way to tear an ACL on your dog, which is not a cheap surgery. So keep that in mind for people who are like, my dog absolutely loves to play fetch. The big pounding movements and the changing directions very quickly, great way for you to go and spend $4 to $8 grand on surgeries. Just saying. So anyway, thank you for coming. I'm going to leave on that note. I don't want you to spend money. And thank you again for coming to the podcast. I really appreciate you coming and listening. It's just me, myself, and I, so I know that can be boring sometimes, but that's why I like to keep them pretty short and sweet and simple. Let me know. Reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. Leave me a comment if you thought this was a helpful episode for you. And if you need any additional help with dog training, you can head over to my website, furpetesaketraining.com, FUR, Pete's, PETES, sake, SAKE, training.com. and I can definitely help you out with your dog, whether you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area. I do in person, or we have virtual options, and even pre recorded on my Patreon page. I have a lot of pre recorded skills and courses that you can become a member or just purchase without being a member. So, thank you again so much for your support. I enjoyed our little mini session today, and I hope you did too. I will see you next time. Bye.